what it is. The J. Bruce Theory After Dark with some more boxing talk. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk. I want to talk about a guy that calls himself the Cobra, Mr. Carl Froch. Mr. Carl Froch, one of the biggest egos in boxing. I was watching the dude the other day interview Terrence Crawford, and this dude's talking about, I got the record in Wembley for 80,000. Does he say that like every interview he has to let people know that he holds the record? Like, come on, man. Is it about the person you're interviewing or is it about yourself? And calling yourself a snake doesn't really sound too good. Cobra. But anyway, I'm watching Mr. Froch interview Derek Chisora, and applause for Derek Chisora. He went right at him. He told him he thought it was a bit of hate the way he came at AJ, the way he showed a private conversation of texts, and he didn't think that was cool. And Carl Froch was like, fair enough, but me and you had beef before that or something. And once again, Carl Froch mentions his record attendance of 80,000. Didn't AJ beat that? Is that why Carl Froch is so disturbed? But man, dude, calm the ego down, homie. Like, what's up with that, man? We understand you're an okay fighter. I'm not gonna say great. You're okay. If you were great, then people over here in the U.S. would know who you are when you walk down the street. But nah, man, you walk down the street, they wouldn't even look at you twice. This dude is a trip, man. And you can tell people like that, a big ego is actually not an ego. It's really a lack of ego. When you have to constantly big up yourself, it's like you really don't have that much confidence. Let other people say these things about you. Don't say it about yourself. Not all the time, man. Like, give it a rest. Carl Froch. Getting on my nerves. Let me turn the hat to the side a little bit. You know what I mean? Give me that extra glare. You know what I'm saying? Beat your jaw. Can't get repaired. You know what I mean? Bars. Oh, shout out to my dude, KD Kurt. Came through today. You guys check out the video. Got to meet Kurt in person. He was down here doing some work in the movie industry. I'm not gonna say what right now until he's ready to talk about it. But he came through, man. Real cool guy, man. Looks like a GQ model, man. Kurt, man. Cool dude. Real cool dude, man. Next time we'll go live, we'll chop it up more, we'll eat, but he had to head back to his home. But it was great to meet him, man. Been watching him way back. I think I was watching Kurt before I even started my platform. And just a real cool guy. And my wife had a real good idea. She was saying we should start a box con, like Comic Con, set up a table, be like Counterpunch Boxing News, Andrew Tucker, World Boxing Wave, me, Showbiz, the adult, everybody. And yeah, it would be real cool. It would be real cool to just have everybody in the building. Oh, we got some trolls in the building already. You dudes is just funny, man. Y'all got nothing better to do. Let me get you up out of here. Send you to YouTube population, man, See, you run your mouth and you get bounced. See how that works? See how that works? But back to what I was saying, though. Real cool guy, man. We should just all meet up. We got to throw in, DT3, the Boone Man, your boy in the bunker, boxing, Sports 101 predictions, Bruce Gas, boxing, jazz, and more. Your boy in the bunker. We could all just meet up and have a real cool time. That would be cool. Hi. Hi, what's up with you? Thanks for coming through. But back to what I was saying though about Derek Chisora checking Carl Froch. I appreciate when people do it to their face. That shows heart. It shows character, and not many people can do that. A lot of people talk one way, and then when the person's in their face, they turn into, like I say, smiles and Hallmark cards. You know what I'm saying? What's up? Thanks for coming through. I'm doing all right. How about yourself? But Derek Chisora is that guy. He actually said he would be willing to fight Daniel Dubois. Said he'd be willing to fight AJ. I was surprised at that. I was like, AJ, because I know they're friends, so I was surprised to hear that. But Derek Chisora, I know good and well Derek Chisora and AJ are never gonna fight, but he's saying that he's willing to fight AJ, and nobody really wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. I don't even want to see Derek Chisora versus Otto Wylien. I'm just like, it's called Last Dance, and I don't know. It just doesn't interest me. I wasn't interested in seeing the Derek Chisora Joe Joyce fight, but I watched some highlights and it looked like it was a pretty. No, I think I saw the whole fight, and it looked like it was a pretty okay fight. Have a good day. You too. Appreciate you. They aren't friends. Yeah, AJ and Chisora are definite friends. Yeah, that's a known fact. They're friends. That's why Chisora was checking Carl Froch, because AJ and he are friends, and he was defending AJ's honor, so to speak. What's this say? Who is Nah, I'm never on YTBC boxing channels. Nah, not me. Nah. It's the J. Roos theory, homie. I don't be going over to people's boxing platforms unless I shout them out. But what's going on with y'all? Let me know what part of the world you're watching from. I guess the trolls come out at night. Wow, there's a lot of trolls on here. Where my moderators at? Let's get these weirdos up out of here so they can go play Dungeons and Dragons. get you little hoes up out of here, so you can go run the track and make you $10 for the night. They ought to have a keyboard warrior convention. All y'all can sit at the table, and sit there and wonder why nobody's there but you guys. You guys sit around and play board games with each other. But Derek Chisora wants to get to 50 fights, and we'll see if he actually gets to 50 fights and who he's going to fight. I have a feeling if he beats Otto Wylien that he's probably not going to retire, because he'll feel like that's a pretty big name. Well, Joe Joyce was a big name too on his resume. So boxing can be like a drug, you want to hang it up, but then you're like, the pay's good. I like the limelight, so That's what it is. But I'm noticing Derek Chisora's speech sounds just a little bit slurred, so I don't want him to stick around too long to where he has some damage that can't be repaired, you know. Because he's a funny guy. When he and Dillian White go back and forth, that's like must see TV. They could sell that on pay per view. Boxing needs Bridgerweight division. You like the Bridgerweight division? I thought I'm thinking it didn't have too much appeal. I'm thinking it didn't really, just the sound of it, just like kind of like the cruiserweight division. It never really took off because it's like you're almost a heavyweight but not quite. You know, it's kind of like JV to varsity. You know, varsity's where it's at. Taking nothing away from JV, but I don't know. I'm not a big supporter of the Bridgerweight division. I'm not a big supporter of having a super heavyweight division in the pros. I know they have it in the Olympics, but I just like heavyweight division. Um, Shout out to trainer James Bashir. He thinks they should have a super heavyweight division because he doesn't think it's fair that these real big heavyweights are fighting a smaller heavyweight. So, but I don't like the idea of a super heavyweight division or Bridgerweight. Too many small heavyweights. Yeah, I see your point, man. I mean, you make a good point. Um, you know, but a lot of these heavyweights that people consider small are the ones that beat these real big heavyweights. Andy Ruiz isn't small in terms of weight, but in terms of height, he stopped AJ. Um, Lennox Lewis was stopped by guys that both of them were 6'2". Oliver McCall and Hasim Rockman, he won the rematches, but they stopped him the first time. So a lot of these guys that are considered small heavyweights are the right size to beat these real big, like oversized heavyweights, so to speak. Because if you're 6'2", when you throw your right, it's like right where their chin is. And I noticed a lot of these real tall guys like ducked in the line of fire anyway. So if you're gonna, why even have? It's not a height advantage if you're gonna lower yourself into their punching range. But that's how I see that. If you guys would for me hit that thumbs up on your way in or on your way out. Make sure you hit me up on IG if you wish to. It's the J Roos Theory over there. If you wish to donate to the J Roos Theory, the Cash App is $J Roos 33. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna need my Chargers to get back in the win column. I'm tired of the inconsistency, Chargers. Let's get some back-to-back wins. We were 8-4, now we're 8-5. Let's look. We can't lose no more games, man. We're in the division with the Kansas City refs. I mean, Kansas City Chiefs. My bad. The Kansas City refs, and you all that watch the NFL know exactly what I'm talking about. You ever watch the Chiefs play a team? The lack of calls on the Chiefs and the over calls on the opponents, man, it's ridiculous. When you watch it, you feel like Kevin from The Office. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It is bad and it's blatant. 1970s and 80s heavyweights were small heavyweight fighters compared to heavyweights of today. Yeah, they were a lot smaller. And it's interesting that you mentioned that because I thought the heavyweights from that era, most of them looked better physically. A lot of them guys look, real diesel. A lot of heavyweights today don't look like they spend much time in the gym. Um, yeah, it's just different eras. The heavyweights have different looks. You can go to the 70s, 80s, 90s, And now in each era seems to have the heavyweights seem to have a different look. And now we got these real tall, like NBA looking guys, you know. I met Archie Moore once and I was surprised how small he was. That's funny that you mentioned Archie Moore too, because I'm from San Diego, California, and I was trained by Archie Moore's son, Billy Moore, at the ABC gym. Shout out to Billy Moore, real cool guy. And yeah, Archie Moore wasn't a real big guy, you know. Great fighter though, great fighter, great fighter, and he was dedicated to the sport. So if you met Archie Moore, are you from San Diego too? I remember I used to look at Archie Moore's house. You could see it on the freeway. He lived like right by the freeway. It's like the house was like in a weird location. It was like whoever built it was like, man, I wouldn't want to live next to the freeway. That's a lot of noise. And what if a car comes off the highway, lands in your living room? Like, nah, I'm cool on that. But yeah, Billy Moore, cool guy. Archie Moore, just man, those were some tough guys back then. Tough guys. They would fight anybody. They didn't care about protecting their win column by having some janky fights. You know that they just fought the best and didn't duck anybody. It's the J Roos Theory, y'all. Make sure you guys subscribe. He was only 5'11". 5'11", okay. I think Bert Cooper, you remember him? He was like 5'11". Yeah, I'm from San Diego. Oh, that's what's up, man. Shout out to San Diego. Yeah, I made you a moderator, man. So you see any trolls come in the building, just bounce them right up out of there. Do I box? I used to box. I used to box. I still do the training every day, never miss. Do my push-ups, my weights, my shadow boxing. Pretty consistent with it. And I keep saying I would fight Jake Paul for free, and I mean that. I'm not just talking. Don't need the money. It ain't about money. It's about exposing that dude. Because I don't believe his fights are real. I honestly don't. I think his fights are scripted. I think that Tyron Woodley fight where he fell like Apollo Creed, pretty much, I'm not buying it. And I'm not buying the Tyson fight either. I'm just not. Do you remember Fifth Avenue Boxing Gym? Fifth Avenue Boxing Gym, was that in downtown? Like kind of underground a little bit, I believe, or not underground, but like an Irish. Because if so, I went there one time, and there was a gym by City College too, where I watched some guys spar. They had the ring way up like a stage. He's trash. Of course, it's a payday for retired fighters. Yeah, I agree with you, man. Yeah, there's no way in the world that Jake Paul would beat Canelo. There's no way he would have beat Mike Tyson if Mike Tyson would have done what he did in training. If he would have thrown some combos, Jake Paul would have been out of there, but he's just walking around like this all night. So, yeah, Canelo would destroy Jake Paul, man. It wouldn't even last 2 rounds. Jake Paul would be running for his life. It was in downtown, a block away from Horton Plaza. Okay, then yeah, I think I've been there before. I think I have, but it was like around 1994, 95, because I remember I was working at FedEx at the time at the airport. So yeah, I think I was there before. Because I remember looking in there, I was like, man, they don't have many weights. Because I really, And then my buddy was like, boxers don't really lift that much weights. Maybe they didn't now, then, but they do now. And I just really like weights. Weights don't hurt you. If you lift heavy, yeah, you could have some damage if you do ego lifting, but I'm not into ego lifting. Any ranked boxer of almost any weight would would tune goofball Paul up. That's facts, man. That's facts. That's facts. Made you a moderator too, Andrew. So if you see any internet gangsters come through, send them back to YouTube population, man. Just hit them with that uppercut and send them flying. Knocking all trolls out. Knock them out. What's up, Jay? Roos Thunders Productions in the building. What's up with you, man? How's it going? How's it going, man? I met Kurt KD today from Counterpunch Boxing News, man. He was in the ATL, came through. I wish we could have gone live, but he had to get back in town. He had a 10-hour drive. I'm pretty sure he still hasn't reached his destination because he had to get some sleep. I told him, I was like, man, if you get tired, get some rest. Don't try to do the full 10 hours. I was telling him about the time I drove from San Diego to Sacramento, the Arco Arena, to see Lennox Lewis fight Lionel Butler. I drove up there and back without any sleep. I do not recommend that, by the way. Do not do that. Oh, just chilling, working my night shift. Hey, I know what that's like, man. I've been doing 16-hour days, man. No joke. In the tallest building in the area, man. I do not like heights, but you got to face your fears and conquer them so they're no longer fears. I got to take my own advice and be fearless. I'm always telling everybody else to be fearless. I need to take my own advice. Do you remember the Irish boxing gym on Broadway in San Diego, a few blocks away from City College? Then that's probably the gym I'm thinking of then, because the gym I was at was it was Irish. So that's probably the one I'm thinking about. Because I went there with my buddy Arturo from FedEx. Yeah. But I mainly trained and sparred at Billy Moore's gym in Southeast San Diego. They moved. They were on the where was that at? It was on the corner, and then they moved to a bigger facility. And I think they moved again since I've been in Atlanta. I think they've shifted. I'm gonna have to call Billy, see how he's doing. I know he used to do a lot of missionary work overseas, so shout out to Billy Moore if he happens to be watching this. Highland Ave Boxing Gym in National City. I'd never been there. I've been to National City a gang of times though, but never to that gym. How has it been there long? Because I've been in Georgia since 2008, but I lived 35 years in San Diego. I lived in Chula Vista, El Cajon, Mission Valley, Southeast San Diego, man. Man, I lived in San Diego so long, sometimes I would just go for drives at night trying to get lost. I'd drive to La Jolla and be like, let me see if I can get lost and find my way back. Wasn't too smart because I was driving a Ford Contour Sport, and that car was trash. It was complete trash. That car, I remember I was driving it in Lemon Grove. That car just stopped on me for no reason. I'm just driving. It just stops in the middle of traffic. I'm like, really, dude? And I just got it. Don't get no Ford Contour Sports, y'all. Says, It's no longer an active gym. It's now a small corner store. Wow. So they're closing gyms, huh? That's what they're doing, huh? No kids need something positive to do, like box and get some discipline. We don't need any more corner stores. We need more places for children to go and put their energy into something positive instead of video games that teach them a bunch of violence and a bunch of witchcraft and all types of evil foolishness. So bring back the boxing gyms or else. Yeah, I really miss San Diego. I want to get a beach house on Mission Beach, man. That's my ultimate goal, man. Less than 2 weeks to go for the Fury versus Usyk. Oh man, I'm excited, man. I'm really excited about this. I like both guys, man. I like both guys, but can't nobody seem to solve the puzzle that is Alexander Usyk. Can't nobody seem to solve that equation, man. Tyson Fury wasn't able to do it. And I thought he was kind of winning the fight at one point, and then Usyk was like, "Not tonight, man. Nah, I'm gonna take it on from here, man. I'm gonna take over." And yeah, so I think I got Usyk again, man. I still want AJ Fury, but I just feel like Usyk is gonna win. And when you see them together, Tyson Fury's 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", Usyk 6'3". It doesn't look like that much of a height difference when they're toe to toe. It really doesn't. I mean, if Fury's head's here and Usyk's head's here, does that really make that much of a difference? If anything, it probably favors Usyk because, like I always say, the shorter guy's overhand right's right in line with the tall guy's chin. Usyk coming in lacking stamina and unable to keep up with Usyk. I think you make Fury look for Fury getting caught again. Yeah, I think you're right about Fury getting caught again because Fury goes down in just about every fight. Steve Cunningham, Deontay Wilder, Francis Ngannou, who never boxed a day in his life professionally. I mean, that's what's tricky about Fury. Is a good chin someone that never gets floored, or is a good chin someone that gets floored and gets up? Depends on how you look at it. Speaking of chins, Carl Froch was talking about AJ like I've never been chinned in my life. Well, Mr. Froch, you never fought at heavyweight in your life too, so that might have something to do with it. Step up to heavyweight and see if you get chin, Mr. Froch, and bring that ego with you. Carl Froch is a trip, dude. I meant Fury coming in lacking stamina. Yeah, I could tell you meant Fury. Yeah, Fury doesn't have stamina, man. It's going to be a long night because one thing you need against Alexander Usyk is stamina. Stamina. 3 words, stamina. That's what you need, Fury. And you're going to need some Fury too because with Usyk, you got to come into the fight with like 3 or 4 game plans because Usyk's going to give you some different looks. He's going, especially because he already won the first fight. He downloaded all that information into his boxing IQ, and he's going to make it work against you, Fury. So you're going to have some switch ups, and you might have to switch up as fast as round 1 because Usyk has pretty much got the heavyweight division and boxing figured out, man. If you can figure out boxing, Usyk has figured it out, and that's why no one has solved that equation to this point. Yeah, heavyweight is a different beast. Lower weight fighters won't understand. Yeah, the Cobra, he's got a lot of mouth, man. Bond Scott, what's up to you, man? It says, good morning, Jay Roos from Scotland. How do you think the Parker Dubois fight will go? Parker has speed and power and is a busy fighter. Yeah, and I was watching, if you guys haven't seen, Joseph Parker just started a YouTube channel and he's showing, how hard he's working. This is the most fit I've seen him look, and he's put on weight and it's quality weight. At first, I thought that's probably something he shouldn't do, but he looks like it's real quality weight. He's lifting a lot of weights, but not too heavy, just to put on some size and strength. And going light with the weights and doing high reps actually builds stamina. It doesn't hinder you, it builds stamina. He's not in there like benching 500 pounds and stuff like that because that's not going to really do too much for him. But I think Joseph Parker can win this fight. I'm hoping he wins the fight. I said Dubois would win, but I heard that Daniel Dubois kind of avoided Joseph Parker because I think he didn't want to fight a guy that moves as well. And Joseph Parker is light on his feet to be such a big guy. So I don't know, man. I originally said Dubois, but I got to think about it. Because Parker is, he's a calm guy. He's a funny guy. Not that funny wins you fights, but he can do it, man. The way he handled Deontay Wilder, came back from 2 knockdowns against Zhang, pulled it out. I kind of thought he beat AJ too. I kind of did. I think he could overwhelm Dubois like Usyk. He will be coming for Dubois. Yeah, and I think that Andy Lee's a better trainer than Don Charles too. So Joseph Parker having Andy Lee in his corner is a plus. I'm not really feeling some of the things that Don Charles says, man. He seems to hold a lot of grudges too. And if you call yourself a Christian, the first thing you got to do is forgive people. You got to love people. You got to love your enemies. You can't be holding grudges. I mean, it's tough for all of us. That's one of the easiest things to do is hold a grudge, but you got to let that stuff go, man. You're working with Daniel Dubois. He just beat AJ in 5 rounds. Be happy. He seems like he's mad, like he lost the fight against AJ. It's like, calm down, Don. Calm down, dude. Every time I see a video with his headline, he's talking about he's mad at this, he's mad at that. Hey, sit down somewhere, man. I saw an interview where David Adelaide said Martin Bakole was beating the brakes off Dubois in sparring. I saw a headline about that too. I got to watch that. So he said, but Bakole sounded like he was beating the brakes off everybody in sparring. Dude, if these stories are true, man, Bakole might have to get another profession because who's going to want to step in the ring with this dude? I mean, I'm sure Jared Anderson ain't too eager to, get him back in the ring. I know Dubois, I don't know when he sparred with Bakole. Maybe it was back when he first started. But I can almost guarantee you that Dubois, even the improved Dubois, would have problems with Bakole. Bakole is a big, strong guy, man. He's kind of a 2024/25 version of Big George Foreman. You know what I mean? But if that's true, man, man. Bakole is a beast, to say the least. And when he knocks you out, you might call the police. Yeah, Martin Bakole, dude, that dude is, and he's training hard. I've seen the videos where he's getting the sweat up out of his shirt. He's been training so hard. So you're fighting a big guy that can take a punch, can give a punch. He's got stamina. I hate when people say stamina instead of stamina. It's not that hard. Stamina, the M comes first. But he's just tough to beat. Things too that I hate that people say while I'm on it. I hate to hear people say revert back. You don't have to say back if you say revert. Revert means back. So if you say revert back, that's like saying back twice. And the cliche I hate more than anything is at the end of the day, no. Ain't nothing at the end of the day but night. So tired of that. Because at the end of the day, stop it. Stop. People can be such sheeple, man. Stop it. But if Caballero beats Zhang, we might get Caballero Bacoli, or if Zhang beats Caballero, I'm sure Zhang will step in there with Bacoli, but I don't think anybody's too eager to fight this dude. Even if they say they are, I think that's just talk, because as a boxer, you can't really go around sounding like he's scared of somebody. But I think in the back of their mind, they kind of hesitant. It's like James Bashir says, people forget boxers are human beings. So they feel the same emotions that a lot of people feel. They're different because they step in the ring, but as Suge Knight says, but at the same time, they're also human beings. So I think people forget that. They look at boxers like they wear capes or they're superheroes. And the only boxer I knew that wore a cape was Hector Camacho. Shout out to Hector Camacho Jr. too, fighting my dude Viking Samurai. Coming soon, y'all. What up, Jay Roos? We got Puro in the building. Y'all go subscribe to Puro, man. Go subscribe to Puro, dude. Knows his stuff, knows boxing. He knows boxing. What did I just do? Bacoli is relentless, keeps on the front foot, and can box well. Yeah, he's a problem, man. He's a problem. I honestly don't know how Michael Hunter beat him, being so small, man. I guess maybe that's the trick to beat Bacoli. You got to just go in there and just like outwork the dude. Bacoli can beat anybody in the heavyweight division. That guy's exactly like George Foreman, good boxer. Tony Rufus, shout out to you, man. That's a great comment right there, man. Shout out to you. Yeah, he's like George Foreman, man. And some guy just left a comment under one of my videos, and he was talking about he sparred with George Foreman. I forget before what fight. And he said George Foreman's jab was like an overhand right from Klitschko. He said this guy's punching power is insane. Like he's never been hit that hard in his life as George Foreman. Mike Tyson even said that George Foreman hit harder than he did. And Mike Tyson said, I was just faster, but he's like, Foreman had more power than me. And I heard George Foreman himself say in an interview when he was talking about in his earlier career, he said he had the kind of punches that could damage your brain. And I believe it. I 100% believe it. According to Billy Nelson, Bacoli's trainer, Bacoli had problems outside the ring and was not mentally right for the Hunter fight. Oh, is that what it was? Yeah, you gotta make sure your outside life is right so you can focus in the ring. You gotta have balance, Yeah, you gotta have balance. Because boxing is a tough sport. The training is actually, the hard part compared to the fight. You got to put the work in the gym to make the fight easy. If you don't put the work in the gym, then the fight's going to be harder than it has to be. So do your work in the gym, make the fight easy. Don't do the work in the gym, you know the rest. Appreciate y'all coming through. Like I said, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Puts me in the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? Foreman was a forward aggressor, never let up on the pressure. If you guys want to see an interesting fight, watch George Foreman fight. Well, who is this? Dwight Muhammad Qawi. Watch that fight, man. I forget what round it was, but there was a round where Foreman hit this dude with a punch that I've never seen in all my years of watching boxing. George Foreman hit this dude like behind the back. It was the weirdest punch. It's like he reached around him and hit him in the back. It just looked crazy. And it looked like Qawi was in a lot of pain from that fight, from that punch, I mean. But go check out the fight George Foreman 2 had with Jerry Cooney too. That fight was crazy. The way Cooney fell that last time, you just see him drop like a trap door open. Foreman could punch. Michael Moore said that he was out on his feet before the knockout blow. He said the punch Foreman hit him with before that final blow, he said, I was already out on my feet. So Foreman could have like just blew on him at that point. He probably would have fallen. I heard Dwight say he saw wow in the ring, so he had to give in or die. Wow. Wow. When he fought Foreman, did he really say that? Wow. See, and George Foreman was so big compared to Dwight Quawi, because remember he had that cruiserweight fight with Holyfield. That was a battle. Holyfield thought he was going to retire after that fight. I think he lost 15 pounds in that fight. It was so hot and brutal. But yeah, Quawi was that was either a light heavyweight or cruiserweight fight he had with Holyfield, but he was really outsized by George Foreman. And yeah, I know getting hit by Foreman makes you probably reconsider if you even want to be a fighter. That dude, man, I bet Foreman could punch right now. I bet if somebody ran up on George, he could put them dudes to sleep right now. You can't really teach power. You can enhance it maybe a little bit. You know, you can teach someone to throw their punch correctly, but power is something that you're born with, in my opinion. Tony Rufus says if he spars with George Foreman, then I guess Foreman has taught him what he knows in boxing. For any amount, I would never fight Foreman. And this is look alike boxer called Bacoli. Don't want to be ruined. For sure. For sure. Yeah, Bacoli's man. I'm interested in seeing all of his fights. I'm interested in seeing that. I like just watching the big guys because they can end the fight at any moment. You know, when you watch these like flyweights and bantamweights, you know, okay, it's probably going to be 12. Unless you're watching Inoue or somebody like that, you know, most of these lower divisions are going to go to 12 rounds, and they swing a lot more, but you know, it doesn't really have the feel where you're on the edge of your seat waiting for a knockout, and that's what I like about heavyweight boxing. Like I said, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. If you wish to donate, the Cash App is $JRoos33. Appreciate the love if you choose to do so. But Coley versus Zhang would be spectacular, and I think we'll eventually get it. Win, lose, or draw in their next fights, I think we'll eventually get it. Heavyweight boxing is king as a division to me. Yeah, absolutely. They always say as the heavyweight division goes, so goes boxing. Because when the heavyweight division is good, so is boxing. 1 second, y'all. I'm going to get me some lemon water. Throat is getting kind of dry. 1 second. Not anymore. Used to. Yeah. I used to heavyweight. Yeah. I got a boxing YouTube channel, so I was watching. Oh, okay, cool. You like right now? What's that? Right now. I just mainly just cover it. Oh, yeah, people and stuff. Yeah, I need keep up with all that. Yeah, I'm a boxing fan. Oh yeah. You don't see everywhere no more. Yeah, it's like I ain't even thing no more. It's more over like the fighters are coming from like the UK and the Ukraine now. Everywhere. Yeah, that's crazy. Like,
was saying?
Yeah, it's fun, right?
You know what I'm saying? What's this? On Hot Tower. See how Hot Tower, bro.
Oh, Jonathan, nice to meet
Jonathan,
you.
same here, bro.
All right, man.
Oh, yeah, you from here?
Originally San Diego.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody about San Diego last night, man. Somebody climbing out there. They got a big climbing.
Yeah.
To live in.
You know, when I get enough money, I'll probably go back. It's just really expensive.
Oh, yeah. It's everything about the same over there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'm thinking difference is fuel. They didn't take the fuel more high out there. My son was at Oceanside for like 4 years.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, he was in Marines up there for 4 years.
Yeah, San Diego's a big military city.
Yeah, Navy and all that, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, I enjoy myself out there on that way, man.
Yeah, I miss it, man.
Yeah, how long you been here?
Wow, I've been here for a minute since 2008, but I lived there 35 years.
Oh, okay. Yeah, where cool, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, all that, but, I just heard you tell me how that body, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's a new generation now, new young cat, man.
Yeah.
Crawford.
I love it.
Tank.
I told everybody he's gonna beat Spencer when he created, like he's gonna win.
Something all right with that fight, man. I Spencer when
I think he was high. He came in the ring looking like he was high. He was like,
right. He didn't fight his fight.
Yeah.
I know that much. You know, he didn't fight his fight, so I know there's a lot of politics in that shit too. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, he had that accident.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think he just probably too soon. Whatever the thing may be.
I know a dude that was at the fight, and he said there was a point, like near the, I think round 2, they said where Terrence Crawford like pushed him and he went flying, and they say everyone in the audience was like, oh yeah, so. They say he just barely pushed him and he went, he was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't right. Yeah, just barbecue his son, man. I just know, he just ain't fighting a regular fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't like, boxing now, they don't wait to the more, it's going promotion game now. They're not really about boxing anymore.
But the reason I knew Crawford was gonna win because he lives like a fighter outside the ring. He don't party, smoke, drink, and I know, what's his name? Ever since he ties him on when he's not training, so I'm like, the disciplined dude is gonna win. And plus, I heard
Dog, you a Terry Crawford, dog.
yeah, like I heard heavyweights say they wrestled him and he's pinned the heavyweights. Like they like this dude is strong. Like
Crawford.
yeah, there's a heavyweight named Richard Torres. He's like, man, he's slimy. I could do nothing.
Yeah. I've been surprised on those like cats like them boys about what 145.
He said, so I could do
Don't
nothing.
play. Don't play.
Yeah, you can't underestimate nobody.
Nah, I'm a little nigga.
Nah. Hey, was that nice to meet
Stand here, bro. Take it easy.
Okay. Hey, what's up, y'all? Had to get me some lemon water. What y'all talking about? Thanks for hanging in there. Parker was really amped up when he fought Wilder. I wonder what Parker's motivation was all about. Well, he was probably just nervous about, he didn't want to get hit with that overhand right, you know. He's probably like, you know, because with Wilder, that's all you got to really look out for. And I always said if you crowd Wilder's space, he can't, what can he do? His arms are so long, he needs room to throw the right. But a lot of fighters like to stay on the outside and then they wonder why they, you know, get knocked out. I'm subscribing to this channel straight up. I like your channel, bro. Though I'm not a fighter, but I like to talk about boxing a lot. The fight I'm waiting for is Beterbiev versus Bivol 2. I like them both. Hey, I appreciate you, man. And yeah, Bivol and those are some tough dudes, man. Tough dudes. I don't even know I had picked Bivol to win in the first fight, but it's tough because both those dudes are solid fighters. They're disciplined. They train like fighters. What does Beterbiev have like? I mean, Bivol have like 300 amateur fights and hardly lost any. But yeah, there's some tough fighters, man. Whoever you pick, I got no complaints with it because those are two solid dudes. And thanks for subscribing, man. I appreciate you. Thanks much.
Yeah, I like to talk boxing too, man. I just really like the sport, and that's why I said I would fight Mr. Jake Paul for free. I mean it. I will sign the contract. Don't have to pay me. Don't care about the money at all. And I'm not signing no NDAs either. Not doing it.
Bivol dominates the rematch against Beterbiev. He might. It's hard to say. Are you going to watch the Atama McKean fight? Probably Atama's biggest test to date. I'm glad you brought that up because I saw they did a face off, and I need to see that because it seemed like they were going back and forth. I like Atama's confidence. I think Atama's might be the real deal, and I'm pretty big on Fabio Wardley too. Wait 1 second. 1 second, Joe.
He calmed down because he knew he was going to talk to me crazy. Because I was like looking at stuff to get like all this for Christmas, and he was like, hey, like, he was like, hey, whose job is it to get the copy? Is it yours? I said, no. He was like, yeah, because it's cold. And I'm trying to figure out why is it like that. I said, well, it's nobody's job. It's in the morning. You won't come back at 6 when it's breakfast. Because I'm like, you won't talk to me crazy. No, I'm just saying, like, you won't talk to me crazy. What, you lying?
Say hi to my pregnant wife right here, y'all. Say hi.
I guess I'll make him some coffee because it was cool.
Yeah, he's real cool.
Okay.
What's up, y'all?
I don't know if gonna talk to me crazy.
Ain't nobody gonna talk to her crazy.
David Benavidez versus Beterbiev will be awesome. I think Beterbiev would win that, man. Great fight, but I think Beterbiev would win that. Wardley is one of my favorite fighters. I always support a fighter who goes straight to the pros and excels. Yeah, man, that's what I like about him. Says, hey, hi, Miss J. Roos. Much respect. Hey, appreciate that. Hi, Miss. Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you. Appreciate y'all. I'll tell her you said that. Yeah. Appreciate the love. You guys some cool people. Yeah, I like Wardley too because the way he just went in the rematch with what's his name? Frazier Clark, the way he just went in there, that was one of the most brutal knockouts I've ever seen, man. It was kind of disturbing the way, Frazier Clark's face was twisted and like he had a dent in his face. I was like, man, dude, like what in the world did he just put on him? It's like he's like, nah, man, I figured you out. We're not going 12 this time. And the thing about Wardley is he takes a great punch too. Wardley has been great from white collar boxing to potential world title fight. Yeah, I would. What would be a great fight would be Fabio Wardley versus Daniel Dubois. That'd be a great test for both. Might go with Wardley there. Might go with Wardley. This dude is tough. He's like a throwback fighter. And I don't even know if Frazier Clark would want to get in there a third time with Wardley. That ended so bad. You might want to chill on Wardley. Wardley Bacoli. That's a good fight. Wardley Bacoli. That might be a little test for Mr. Bacoli. Wardley is like Nigel Benn to me. Ah, it's interesting. Never thought of that. Like Nigel Benn, huh? I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch Nigel Benn. I haven't seen him for so many years. I'm gonna have to go check that out. Nigel Benn, huh? Who you guys like if Chris Eubank Jr. fights Conor Benn? Who you guys like in that? I was saying Conor Benn, but it seemed like since he's come back, he hasn't quite been as devastating with the power. So, yeah. Oh, they said hi, Mrs. J. Roos.
Hello.
She says hello. For everybody coming in, even the people that are gonna watch this on the replay, make sure you hit that thumbs up like the Fonz. Beat down that like button. The Cash App is $J Roos 33, not Ross, not ROSS. It's JROOS 33. J Roos 33. That's the Cash App. Make sure y'all hit that up if you choose to support the platform. And much love and respect if you choose to. And if you can at this time, no harm, no foul. I saw someone did a video yesterday who would win between Clubber Lang and Apollo Creed. It's kind of interesting. I had done one a while back about who would win between Clubber Lang and Ivan Drago. Most people pick Drago. I don't know. Understand they're making a Drago spinoff, but Stallone isn't involved. That's kind of whack right there. That's real whack. How you gonna Rocky's his creation and you just gonna like not involve him? Stop it, Erwin Winkler. Stop it. What's it like living in Atlanta? I call it Wacklanta. I'm not an Atlanta guy. It's not me. I'm a Cali dude. I mean, yeah, it's not me. It's like being in a different planet. Great question, man. When Wardley gets hurt, he gets dangerous and he punches hard like Nigel. Oh, that's what you're saying, the comparison. Yeah, them kind of fighters are dangerous. You know, you hit them and they seem to get mad. Yeah. He gets dangerous. Yeah. Clubber Lang would beat Apollo Creed. You think so? You could be onto something because I remember Apollo told Rocky, "You think I'm tough? This chump will kill you." So I always thought Apollo Creed would win though because he was the better boxer. Like kind of like if Ali fought Mike Tyson, I thought Ali would he'd figure out Tyson and beat him. But it's tough to say. It's tough to say with Clubber Lang and Ivan Drago too. Drago is a look at the future. I am Ivan Drago, fighter from Soviet Union. Soon, the whole world will know my name. Rocky IV trailer, what y'all know about that? And now for my Sylvester Stallone. It ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. How much you can take. Hey, yo, Adrian. Hey, yo, Adrian. Hey, yo, kid. It's time, kid. Rocky, best boxing movie of all time. I don't care what anybody says. The first fight between Beterbiev versus Bivol, their punches doesn't sound good to my ears. Sounds like a wrecking ball hitting a house. Especially Bivol wouldn't want to be hit by that guy. Good fighter. Someone just played the sound from Triple G hitting somebody, and it sounded like a gunshot went off. So yeah, I know what you mean. Apollo Creed would have made it look pretty the first couple of rounds before the monster in Clubber Lang goes into beast mode. Hey, but remember this though, Rocky couldn't beat Clubber Lang until he was trained by who? The King of Sting, Apollo Creed. So maybe Apollo has solved that equation. Because Apollo was a better boxer than Rocky. He taught Rocky a whole new style. So something to think about. And Erwin Winkler, you do right by Sly Stallone, man. Put him in, let him be a part of his own creation. What kind of stuff is that? That's foul. We riding for you, Sly. Hey, yo, kid, put me in the movie. Hey, yo, Adrian. I ain't punchy. An in shape Apollo who tags Drago seriously would beat Drago. Yeah, I never liked. That's one thing about the director's cut that Stallone said he didn't like how he made Apollo get slaughtered in the original movie. So if you watch the director's cut, Apollo puts up more of a fight. He gets knocked down and gets back up. I thought that was cool. The fight's a little longer, but it kind of seemed like they were showing the same punch from Apollo from different angles at one point. I'm like, are these extra punches or just different angles? And also, he slowed down the speed of Apollo getting up. So I think he slowed it down to stretch the fight a little bit longer to make Apollo seem more like a warrior, which he was. So I thought that was classy of Stallone to do that. And I was hoping with the director's cut of Rocky versus Drago that they would show Apollo Creed actually training for the Drago fight, because in the original version, it seemed like they were just in a crunch for time. The movie seemed too fast. It was like they go from the press conference right to the fight. And, Rocky movies, you get a training montage usually. So I'm like, they didn't shoot any footage of Apollo Creed or Carl Weathers training. That'd be great, because they were trying to imply that Carl Weathers or Apollo Creed was taking Drago lightly. But if you look at his physique, that was probably the best he ever looked, which showed that he trained. So I'm like, he trained that hard and he got slaughtered, and he was only out of the ring for a couple years. So I don't think he would have got manhandled like that. Stallone says he regretted, taking him out that way too. He said he could have put him in a wheelchair. That would have changed the whole outcome of the Creed movies, wouldn't it have? If Apollo had survived that fight with Drago. His son would still want revenge though, because, he'd be like, you put my dad in a wheelchair. Love Rocky movies, Creed movies. I like them all. I thought Creed 3 was really, really great. I wish Stallone had been a part more. I hear that Stallone didn't really have a part in it, but then when you watch the credits, I think it says executive producer / Stallone. So that I didn't understand that. But I'm hoping that he comes back to Creed 4. He says he's willing to work with Michael B. Jordan on Creed 4. I hope Jonathan Majors is back. Have you seen that dude's physique lately, walking with Megan Good? Jonathan Majors, man, he's putting in that work in the gym. I think he was getting in shape for a bodybuilding movie. So I guess he was using that training and he liked it, and the training for Creed, and he thought, let me just stay like this. Love from New Zealand, brother. Hey, what's up, man? Appreciate you, man. Keep crushing it. Appreciate you, Roger. Much respect to you. Much respect to you in New Zealand, too. Shout out to my people in New Zealand. Much love to y'all. Thanks for coming through to check out Jay Roos. Make sure you hit that thumbs up to help put me in the YouTube streets, the algorithm. Don't put me on the track, but put me on the YouTube streets. Y'all know what the track is.
But yeah, appreciate everybody that takes time from their busy days to come check me out and hear my take on boxing and boxing movies and all things boxing, all things Rocky, you know. I saw an interview Carl Froch did with Terrence Crawford. I talked about that a little bit earlier when Carl started bragging about his Wembley record of 80,000. Terrence Crawford is still interested in a fight with Canelo, and I say Terrence Crawford would win. A lot of people don't believe me. They think Canelo's too big and strong. He's not. Nobody believed me when I told him Crawford would beat how do I forget that? Spence. Nobody believed me about that.
What'd you think of the Tyson Paul fight?
Man, that fight was so against what I said was going to happen, man. I had to eat some serious crow on that one. I said Mike Tyson was going to go in there and just tear up Jake, and I didn't even like how Mike looked coming to the ring. He looked like he was conflicted, discouraged, depressed. He didn't look like he looked in train. He didn't look like he looked when he slapped Jake Paul. He slapped him, bounced back, didn't have no leg brace on. I think someone told me he had it on at the weigh-in. He didn't. I just saw the footage today. So how in the world was his legs fine at the weigh-in? Then on fight night, he's like crippled. Like, what's up, man? Were they running a con on everybody? Like, so when he doesn't swing, we could blame it on his health issues and give Jake Paul a win. I was pretty frustrated with watching Mike just walk around biting his gloves. Like, what is that?
My little bro said, what do you think about Canelo fighting Benavidez? Who do you pick? My little bro is a Benitez big fan. He said, what do you think if you see the fight happening in the future? I think Benavidez would now might be the right time to dethrone Canelo, because Canelo seems to be fighting at a pace where he kind of a slow starter and then he gets going. So if Benavidez can jump on top of Canelo, he can definitely get him out of there. In fact, I kind of would want Benavidez to win. I'm just kind of tired of Canelo. It's nothing personal, but it's just like, I don't know, watching Canelo fight now is not very exciting for me. And I think Benavidez would have a point to prove, and I think he would catch Canelo at the right time and might get the first stoppage on Canelo, because Canelo's lost, but hasn't nobody stopped him. Nobody's even knocked him down. So shout out to you, man, and your boy. Appreciate the question. He said, dude, I thought the same. He looked sad, man. I was convinced it was rigged. Yeah, me too. Me too, man. I think something was going on. I really do. I really think something was going on, because Mike he looked discouraged. He looked like, do I really want to go ahead with this, or should I go against the NDA and knock this dude's wig off? Canelo's never fighting Benavidez. Man, I hope they fight. Puro says, I feel the same about canned fish Crawford. Oh, I got catfish Crawford. Yeah, man, Crawford's a G. He's a G. Crawford showed a lot of respect to Carl Froch on that interview too. Carl Froch asked him who he thought would win between he and Jake Paul, and Crawford's like, man, you would win. He said he's putting $10 on Benavidez. Wow. Benavidez. So he's putting 10 on it, huh? He got 10 on it. Yeah, Benavidez is the Mexican monster. Mexican monster. Y'all go subscribe to the homie Puro, though. Great boxing platform out there. Knows what he's talking about. There's a lot of boxing platforms out there, but not everyone knows boxing. Puro knows boxing. Go subscribe to the homie. Whoever KOs Jake will be a hero in boxing. Yeah, man. And a lot of people are coming down on Tommy Fury for pulling out of his fight with that MMA guy that said he was going to kick Tommy in the face. And people are like, you know, did you pull out because you didn't want dude to kick you in the face? It's like, come on, Tommy. You Furies are fighting men. Like, you can't be pulling out because the dude says he wants to kick you in the face. You just stop him before he kicks you in the face. He ain't going to kick you in the face anyway. That's just to intimidate you. He ain't going to do that. Yeah, man. Puro, man, shout out to you. Appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you coming through for real. Can exhibitions be rigged? But see, the thing about that Tyson fight, they were saying that it's a legitimate pro fight and that it was going to go on both guys' professional record. So it's like in front of the audience, they were saying it's a pro fight, but behind the scenes, it's like, hey, you know what? We're going to say this is pro, but you know what it is. Sign this NDA and let's all get paid. So, you know, it was an exhibition. If you watched it, you could tell it was, but they told the public that it was a professional fight, and that's why it needs to be investigated, because people were, you know, there's betting and gambling involved, and how you can't bet on a rigged fight, man. That's unethical. Appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you too, man, for real. For real. But Tyson versus Jake Paul was rigged. It looked rigged, man. It looked rigged like a diesel, man. I mean, Connor on Floyd's. Oh, okay, okay. Let me see. It's unethical to let a sucker keep his money. Yeah, that fight was so I think what was so bad about the whole night was, first, Amanda Serrano gets cheated by getting headbutted like you wouldn't believe, against Katie Taylor. So that was a disgusting decision. And then we got the Jake Paul fight next. So, you know, the fight fans were already kind of frustrated watching Katie Taylor, you know, continuously headbutt Serrano. It was a good fight, but Serrano won that fight. Then we had to deal with the Jake Paul Tyson fiasco. So it was just a bad night, man. It was kind of depressing because we didn't get what we paid to see, and then Netflix is buffering and all that, and yeah, Netflix needs to get their act together and not hold any more boxing matches or exhibitions. Yeah, I had been looking forward to that fight because I'm like, man, Mike is looking ferocious and quick. And then when you watch the fight, you're like, oh, they got us again. Mike's pulling his punches. I'm like, they got us again. They got us again. Had Mike slap Jake Paul to really sell the fight. I'm sure that brought in a couple more million viewers. I laughed at dudes that put 5 cents on McGregor to this day. Yeah, man. There's no way I thought Conor McGregor was going to beat Floyd Mayweather, and they were going around at them press conferences dropping F-bombs like Andrew Dice Clay. I was like, man, this is so unclassy. It's just going around calling each other names. You be. It's like, what? It wasn't creative. Like, just walking around cussing at each other. Like, y'all could have hired some comedians to come in and give you some one-liners, but going around cussing at each other like that, it just wasn't cool, wasn't interesting. Act like they don't care that these little children watching them too. Like, dude, have some morals. It's the way of the world, though. I guess everybody's on their own. Nobody wants to be a role model. Facts, cringe. Yeah, it was cringe, man. It was cringe watching Conor McGregor walking around in his Pee Wee Herman tight slacks and trying to insult somebody. Like, man, your slacks are so tight we can see your pulse, bro. Like, come on now. Ain't nobody trying to see your little wee wee print, man. We ain't trying to check that out. Still haven't seen that fight, and I'm a big Floyd fan. Yeah, you're not missing much. I remember too. They said after that fight that Conor Ben had some bleeding on the brain, and Floyd Mayweather ain't even known to be a power puncher. I mean, in his earlier career, he was stopping dudes, but later when he started getting his hands injured, he wasn't knocking dudes out like that. And for him to have Conor McGregor's brain bleeding like that is like, wow, man, you ain't ready for prime time with the fisticuffs, man. Stick to MMA. How bad are these MMA guys that, let's say the Jake Paul fights are real. How bad are these guys' hand game that they're losing to Jake Paul? That's why I like Eubank Jr. or Senior trash talking. It's intelligent and funny and makes opponents mad. Oh, man, Chris Eubank Jr. is funny, dude. That dude is, yeah, his trash talk. I'm glad you said that, man. His trash talk is very clever. He's funny dude, man. Real funny. And I like what I see from him too, man. He seems to be coming into his own. You can't play boxing, bro. Nah, you cannot play boxing. You cannot go in there thinking about your girlfriend. You can't go in there thinking about, what am I going to eat after the fight? You got to be focused until you hear that last bell or until they stop the fight. You do not play around. Boxing is a very unforgiving sport if you're not focused. A lot of people have found that out the hard way, unfortunately. Bronner's the GOAT of trash talk, in my opinion. Yeah, Bronner was funny until he ran up against Bill Haney, when Bill Haney told him, man, let's put $12,000 up every hour and see who runs out of money first. I thought that was like the funniest line. I was like, if that ain't a mic drop moment. That dude said put $12,000 up every hour. Let's see who runs out of money first. I was like, oh my goodness. If I was Bronner, I'd have been like, you know what? I'm having technical difficulties right now. I'm gonna holler at you later though. Bill Haney, man, he got that California sense of humor. I'm not even a Bill Haney guy either. I think he got too much mouth, but that dude is funny at times. Active fighters calling Jake Paul out for a fight, but dude's been silent, not even responding. Yeah, Canelo called him for fight, but dude didn't even say, yeah, he don't really want Canelo, I don't think. I think that's a lot of talk. He says really good boxer too. Bronner had potential. He just seemed like he had too much going on outside of the ring. Yeah, wasted talent. Yeah. Yeah, he wasted a lot of his talent. He couldn't stay focused. What boxer played boxing in the ring? I'm not sure what you mean there. What's Bronner really doing now? Dude wrecked himself. Bronner, I think he's signed with Don King Promotions right now. I don't know who he's fighting or not. He and what's his name? What's that dude's name that keeps getting injured and dude that used to have the ponytail? What's his name? Keith Thurman. He and Keith Thurman, man. I was never a Keith Thurman guy. I said Pacquiao would win that fight too, and people thought I was off my rocker. I was like, nah, Pacquiao's gonna win. Bronner's too defensive. He's starting to, in his last couple of fights, I noticed that he won't let his hands go. You can't win a fight just being defensive. See, Floyd can be defensive and win a fight, but Bronner never mastered that. Bronner had more potential, but his mentality and brain is fried rice. Bronner be selling burrito.
Y'all coming down hard on Bronner, man. See, you fighters gotta live. You gotta live the sport. That's why I was just telling somebody a few minutes ago. That's why I picked Crawford to beat Errol Spence because he lives like a fighter outside the ring. When you're not, even when you don't have a fight coming up, Crawford's in shape. Errol Spence he was doing. Maybe he's changed, but from what I understand, he'd be doing the most. So how do you pick the undisciplined guy over the disciplined guy, especially when the disciplined guy knows how to fight and he's strong too? Like you're asking for trouble. And he came in the ring looking like what's up? Like, huh? Oh, for real? Are you about to sound the bell? Oh, for real? Oh, we about to fight? Wow. Oh, what's up? That's what we're doing? Oh, okay. Yeah, Bronner was looking like he just had a session with Snoop. That dude was coming in the ring like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, you know how I do. You know how I do it. Don't play with me. I'm Errol Spence. I'm Errol. You better ask somebody. Although he didn't meet expectations, he fought all his contemporaries. Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. You know, there's a lot of fighters that didn't meet their potential. Like Riddick Bowe could have been way better than what he was, but he couldn't stay out the kitchen. The dude put a kitchen in his bedroom. Tyrell Biggs never really panned out as a pro. Yeah. I was at Tyrell Biggs, his brother's gym, Xavier Biggs, back in Decatur a couple months ago, where me, Tim Witherspoon, and Viking Samurai all met up. Ray Mercer was supposed to come through, but he couldn't make it. Shout out to Ray Mercer. Merciless Ray Mercer, that is. Bronner versus Maidana is an all-time classic. Yeah, I saw that fight. That was a good one. That was a good one. Y'all want to see action-packed fight? Go check out an old fight between Ray Mercer and Smoking Burt Cooper. You will not be disappointed. There's a guy called Chocolate. What is that? Chocolate Uno. This guy been dancing with a lot of Mexicans. I was thinking that was Bronner. You thinking that was Bronner? Oh, Michael Dokes is another. Yeah, Mike. Remember that uppercut that Razor Ruddock hit Michael Dokes with? Man, dude. That's why I say the uppercut is probably the most dangerous punch in boxing, man. I did a video on the most dangerous punch. Remember the one that Ngannou hit Alistair Overeem with, the one AJ hit Klitschko with, the 3 consecutive uppercuts that Lennox Lewis hit Justin Fortune with, the one Razor Ruddock hit Michael Dokes with, and Michael Dokes used to lay people out too. Michael Dokes could fight, man. Them heavyweights back then, they seemed a lot faster, maybe because they weren't so tall and awkward. Emmanuel Stewart used to say once a heavyweight gets over 6'5", he's kind of clumsy. And most of these heavyweights nowadays are over 6'5". I'm starting to see what Emmanuel meant. Because anytime they seem to fight a dude at 6'2", they run into a problem. And Daniel Dubois is a little bit shorter than AJ, and Daniel Dubois was a problem for AJ. AJ would have to change a whole lot, and AJ is like my favorite heavyweight right now. Lennox Lewis, my favorite of all time, but I think AJ and Usyk are my favorite heavyweights right now, and AJ would have to change a whole lot before he fights Dubois. He's got to get his spirit right first. He's got to know who he's praying to. Can't be no confusion in that area. The 80s, bro, all the GOATs and the rest were hooked on that white girl. Oh, wow. Yeah, I know what you're saying, man. There was a lot going on in the 80s, wasn't it? That uppercut from Razor Ruddock is dangerous. I practice it. Just got to set it up or you get caught clean. Just got to set it up or get caught clean. Yeah, man. Yeah, that uppercut was nasty. Uppercut was nasty from Ruddock. But yeah, man, the 80s were I've talked about this before with the 80s and the hip hop culture. This is kind of off topic, but this is kind of because like I've been writing rap since I was a child, so I didn't know back then these rappers with these names, it was associated to the drug world. Like all the rappers with ski in their name, like Cool Rock Ski from the Fat Boys, Joe Ski Love. I think LL Cool J's original name was LL Cool Ski. It meant cocaine, powder. We had Curtis Blow. I didn't know Blow meant, we just thought, oh, that's a cool name. And I guess nobody caught on. So then the word dope was introduced around the late 80s. That's dope. I guess the powers that be thought they're not getting it. So let's just make it plain as day. That's dope. That's dope. And then what happened? Crack flooded the black community. So they were programming you with the music to get you ready for what they were about to put on your community. It's all connected. The prison industrial complex is $1 trillion business. They put the music in a certain way to get your mind thinking a certain way. The subliminals weren't working, so they came out with the just, oh, that's dope. And then they flooded your community with guns and dope. You don't think this is all planned? Come on now. Might have just demonetized myself on this video for saying that. Oh well. All money ain't good money.
AJ would have never made it back in the 70s and 80s. It would have been tough for him, that's for sure. AJ's tough and he stays in the gym, but it's like Dillian White says, he's either really good or really bad, man. Kind of like me on Miss Pac-Man. I'm really great or I lose focus for a second. But when I'm really great, I'm really great. That in Tetris, I'll be putting it down. Yeah, man. Chavez for 16 fights. Chavez for 16 fights till Randall took his 0, was doing white in the dressing room before fighting. Chavez? Are you serious? Do you remember the Fresh Festival at the sports arena? Oh man, yeah, the Fresh Fest, Run DMC, the Fat Boys, yeah, Turbo and Ozone were there. Yeah, my cousin was security at the San Diego Sports Arena for that. But are you serious, man? Chavez was doing the powder? I never knew that. When I heard him admit that, I was floored. Yeah, I'm floored right now hearing it. Wow. And he was that great while he was on the stuff? AJ's time, it's time for him to retire, instead receiving all those beatings and damages. AJ's a kind of lazy fighter to me. Not saying he's lazy, but look lazy to me. Dude don't know how to throw punches. Well, I think he knows how to throw his punches, but he wasn't keeping his hands up like he did in the Jermaine Franklin fight. I mean, like his hands were too low. Piro says, yes, Jay Roos admitted it after he cleaned himself up. Wow, man, you just shocked me on that one. I thought Chavez was one of these well, he might have been a gym rat, but I guess he was also a crack house rat too. Wow, man, never knew that. See, that's why I like talking to y'all. Y'all be telling me stuff I never knew. Wow, that's crazy. So he really was trying to take his life into his own hands. Boxing's already dangerous, but then to go in it doing and how do they pass the drug test? Were they just paying people off? Wow. But yeah, man, I remember the Fresh Festival as well, man. My cousin used to be in there roughing people up and throwing them over the barrier and stuff. But yeah, the Fresh Fest. You can find footage of the Fresh Fest on YouTube. Man, I grew up listening to when Dr. Dre used to put out them rhodium swap meet tapes. He used to put out mixtapes. So from seeing him going from making mixtapes at the rhodium swap meet in Compton to becoming a near billionaire is kind of interesting to see happen for him. What was also crazy, Chavez Jr. literally saved him from unaliving himself. Oh man, that is so sad, man. Wow. The Chavez family was going through, it sounds like. I mean, Chavez was a G too, man. Wow. Remember the Mildred Taylor Chavez fight with Richard Steele? I went to the Fresh Fest. I was just a kid. Oh, you went to the Fresh Fest? That's what's up at the San Diego Sports Arena. Wow, you gonna make me want to pull that up. Pushed his arm away. Was it? Pushed his arm away. Was Furo. Wow. 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 Yeah, you never know what people are going through behind the scenes. Everybody's taught, well, not everybody, but professional athletes were usually coached to be professional at all times. And some of these guys are really going through it. Look at the mental breakdown that Oliver McCall had in the rematch with Lennox Lewis, where he literally started crying in the ring. I was at that fight. Shout out to Oliver McCall. He's been clean for years now, and he's still fighting at age 59. Bruce Gass, Jazz and Moore just interviewed Oliver McCall. Shout out to Bruce Gass. Go subscribe to him. And yeah. He interviewed Peter McNeely too recently. That was interesting. But yeah, a lot of people just don't know that these guys are really going through a lot. And boxing's a hard sport, man. If you got a crazy life outside the ring, and then you're putting your body through the constant training, and then the fight, and then you're supporting your family and your friends, that's a lot of pressure. I think that's why Jared Anderson broke down when he was doing that interview with Roy Jones. The pressure had gotten to him. He's like, man, I can't deal with this. Let me see what's going on. This TV in the background. Let me shut that down before you know what it is. It's the Jay Woods Theory After Dark, y'all. You know what it is, you know what it ain't. Jake Paul, give me that fight, homie. Don't catch a cold, catch these hands. Marco Antonio Barrera and Eric Morales is fire. Tons of excellent interviews every Friday. Yeah, go check out my dude Puro. They just had on Sean Porter. Oh, wow. Showtime Sean Porter. That dude's got a YouTube channel too.
Yeah, it's usable one.
Okay.
Don't drop.
Do you need it back?
Yes.
Okay. Podcast is called Unround Moss. Oh, okay. Thanks, Puro. Thank you, man. Yeah, I like podcasts, especially boxing ones. Oh, what's up, Blue Baron? It's in Spanish on most of them, so most of Americans not on. Oh, it's in Spanish. Oh, okay. Yeah, I need to get my Spanish game on point. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the building, y'all. I'm in the building. £30 dumbbells, y'all. 25 times. And they ain't breathing heavy. That's what you call high reps. Age 52, it don't stop. Age is just a number. Unless you let yourself go. What you guys talking about? Whatever happened to the Fat Boys? They were popular back in the day. That's interesting you said that, because I'm working on bringing Cool Rock Ski on the show from the Fat Boys. He's the only member still alive, and he's into fitness now, so he don't look nothing like he did in the 80s. Shout out to Cool Rock. Yeah, Fat Boys, man, they had a lot of hits. Fortunately, we lost the Human Beatbox around 1995, and then recently Prince Marky D. So that was sad. They made the beatbox famous. Yeah, they had that little beef with Dougie Fresh about who started the beatbox. Most episodes have English subtitles, so check it out. You won't be disappointed. Yeah, man, I gotta check that out for real. Easy work, G. 100-pounders, my starting point. That's what's up. That's what's up. Oh, wow. That's a great guest. Yeah, man, I want to get on Cool Rock Ski, aka Mr. Wembley. I think that's his last name. But yeah. I do skull crushers too, but I do those on the floor. What y'all talking about? Kurt, if you're on your road trip watching this now, give you something to watch or listen to as you roll. Dare me to jump in that pool, y'all. Fully clothed. Got us a nice echo in here. Peace, everyone. I'ma go. Shout out to you, Thunders Production. Thunders Productions tuning in from work. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for coming through. You going in? Yeah, hold on real quick. Man, I don't think I've been in a swimming pool since 1998, man. Used to like to sit in a jacuzzi. By the way, that wasn't no workout. I was just doing that. I like to get it in, and when I work out, I like to just go all out. What time is it here? I think it's around 2 a.m., something like that. I'm in the ATL. I'm in Georgia. But I'm going back to Cali. I'm going back to Cali. I do think so. Gotta get that money up though to live in Cali, man. Gotta be like pretty much a millionaire just to be comfortable nowadays. My buddy from San Diego used to say he wouldn't even quit his job if he won the lottery for $1 million. He's like, you can't really live on $1 million no more. But I would make it work. I would flip that $1 million. What time is it where you're at, Blue Baron? $7:37 a.m. So I think you're like 5 hours ahead of me. And it's cold. Oh man, is it cold there too? It's been freezing up here. Georgia weather is weird. It could be freezing today, and then by the end of the day, it's like in the 60s or 70s. Georgia, a good place to be from. Nah, shout out to all my Georgia people, man. Shout out to the Falcons too. Shout out to the Braves. But guess I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. Like I said, if you guys wish to donate to the J Roos Theory, the Cash App is $JRoos33. If If you want to follow me on IG, I'll follow you back. It's the J Roots Theory over there too. Have most working people moved out of California? I do believe so. I know I have a family member out there. Well, I got a lot of family out there, but one in particular, he's thinking about moving to Tennessee for political reasons. You know what I mean? Y'all got any last questions or comments before I end the stream? Go check out the little quick video me and Kurt did it on my platform. It's only like 2 minutes and the wind was blowing hard, so you can hardly hear some of it, but towards the end it gets kind of clear. Look for us to be linking up, hopefully in the near future though, doing some live streams in person, you know. Me, Kurt, Andrew Tucker, DT3, the Bone Man, you know, all of us just chilling. Is White fighting tonight? No, he fights Sunday in Gibraltar. He's fighting Ebenezer Tete. That's who he's fighting. I went back and watched Daniel Dubois knock that dude out in 1 round. Yeah. But it'll be good to see Dillian back, you know. Hopefully there's no more long layoffs and no more, you know, stuff going on outside the ring. I'll put it like that. You a White fan? I like Dillian White. I think he's real funny. And he looks like a guy I work with, man. Guy looks just like him in every way, man. Height, size, voice. I feel like I'm talking to Dillian White every time I see him. So I think Dillian is nice for the sport because he brings a lot of talk and he's funny and he knows how to promote himself. And just don't hit him with an uppercut. You like Dillian, man? I haven't seen Dean White, his brother, in a minute either. Dean used to be pretty heavy on these YouTube streets. You know what I'm saying? I used to. Oh, okay. I can understand that. You know, he had his big moment against Tyson Fury and he kind of dropped the ball with that one. Dropped the ball with that Tyson Fury fight. That opportunity's probably not gonna come around again, you know. And he won't fight at that level again. Yeah, it's kind of like, see, that's why these fighters should be consistent because they had no idea that Prince Turkey was going to come along. Now I bet they're kicking themselves for not being consistently in the gym and consistently winning. Because now the money's better than ever and a lot of guys are missing their opportunity, so to speak. Thank you. Yeah, they all want that Saudi Arabia money, Arabia bag. Yeah, man. Yeah, Mr. Turkey, if you need a commentator, holler at J Roots, man. I got you. I got you. don't really like flying. Don't really like heights, but guess I'll have to come out of my comfort zone. Ain't that right? You better sound more enthusiastic when I talk to you.
Okay.
You know what it is. You know what it is. Say something else.
Sir.
Say something else.
Sir.
You know what it is.
Sir. Sir.
Hey, did somebody drop water out here? It's like, somebody have somebody leaking? Like somebody's leaking on the floor, you know what I mean? Get your kidneys in order, man. Hold that bladder. But I guess I'm gonna sign off, keep my word and sign off. It's been nice. Thanks for watching. Keep Yeshua first. Ask him to forgive you of your sins so you can make it to the Shamayim and go up in the Nehitif. Look that up. The Great Gathering, Rapture. You won't have to stick around for what's coming. And repent of your sins. Don't keep repeating the same mistakes. Put the Most High first. Love everybody. Forgive your enemies. And peace to you, Blue Baron, and Thunder's Productions and all the new people that came through. Much love, much respect. LSR forever. And be fearless. Yay.